So today, we're going to be refurbishing a Dell Precision 5810. Now, to start off, it has a 4-core Xeon that has 8 threads and came with a NV310. Now, this isn't a sleeping gaming PC at all. This is a workstation, which means it will not be good at gaming. Still will be able to play games like Minecraft, but don't expect gaming performance from this. It is meant for work like small Blender projects, 1080p video editing, stuff like that. Now, before we get started, you should totally subscribe and go ahead and like the video, because this computer took all day, mostly because of Windows. Of course, the SSD I'm going to be using today, the Team Group AX2 256GB SATA SSD, which is a really good SSD. I fully recommend Team Group products. They have not let me down. I actually use one of their drives in my computer and about every other computer I own, just because of the value that comes with one of these. But overall, I think Team Group is one of the best SSD manufacturers out there, and this isn't even sponsored. I wish they would sponsor me, but they won't. And to prove I use at least those two brands, I have all those boxes. Team Group box, Samsung box. So let's get on with the video. So starting off with the actual PC I bought, I spent around $130 on this, but it did not come with a drive and it did not come with a power cord. So paying for the Team Group AX2 256GB SSD and the power cord, I spent around $75 on those, bringing my total to $201, which when you think about it isn't that bad of a deal until you realize it did not come working. It took a lot of troubleshooting to get the actual OS to work on it because it was locked down after the office. Now, that isn't that bad of a deal. I value old office PCs more than just like gaming PCs. Of course, they don't hold a lot of value, but they are normally in better condition. Oh, and not to mention, it had tons of dust in it. So, with the Windows 11 Pro that's on it activated, it should sell for around $250 to $350 US, all depending on how good your listing actually is. Because obviously, the better listing you make, the more likely they are to buy at that price. Of course, my asking price for this is $325, which isn't that bad because of how good it looks, but I will take or best offer. But that does leave my profit at $100 to $125. But let's go ahead and get into tearing this down. So anyways, here is the actual PC. Of course, looks decent, not very clean, but it looks decent. Now of course, opening it up, what you can do pretty easily, thank you to this handle. Doesn't look too bad. But I'll just show you the dust that is actually in this thing. And under the heat shroud, we've got an Intel Xeon E5-1620v3, which is a 4-core, 8-thread, 140-watt CPU, which isn't that good. It's the upgrade path from this that's really important. And we've got 8 DIMM slots instead of the regular 4. These 8 DIMM slots for RAM allows, on this specific chip, 768 gigabytes of RAM. I don't know why anyone would ever need that, and it'd probably be worth more than any other part in this computer, but if you want it, you can just have it. And now the moment of truth. Does it boot? Aw, man. Nah, I just didn't press it hard enough. Anyways, after I reset BIOS on it, boom, pops straight up. So, we've got 16 gigs of quad channel. And a Xeon E5-1620 with 4 cores, which isn't that great compared to my 6 core. But as I said, for like 20 bucks, you can upgrade to 14 cores. And it was complaining about the date not being set, so let me set the date real quick. And roughly 5 hours later, we finally have Windows 11 installing again, because it just decided to corrupt my last install. Great! I'm not gonna even try gaming on this because I know it can't game. I'm just gonna try the workloads it was built for. And up first, the first main test of this entire thing. Cinebench R23, it only gets around 4,132 points, which isn't that great, but you're forgetting you can upgrade to a 14 core that gets around 15,000. For comparison, my Ryzen 5 5500 with 12 threads gets 10,247 while being 65 watts. But overall, let's go over build price. So overall, this entire point of this build is me refurbishing a full-size workstation computer to then resell for a profit. And I think it'll do pretty well, but of course, it has not been sold yet because I literally just refurbished this. But honestly, it's not a bad computer. Not a bad computer at all. But if I had a little bit more time and I put some more time into it and I would have thought of these things before I got all the parts here, I would have bought a better Xeon just to drop into it, and then I would have also bought the power cord and something like a GTX 1080 to drop in here, because that would make a seriously good sleeper build, and not to mention it'd have great workload performance. And then if RAM prices weren't worth more than the entire computer, drop 128 gigs of RAM and you'd have a AI workload beast. And another great discovery I made about this card is it's great at just enduring an overclock. So we're getting around 23 FPS right here, right? Now look at profile 1, what I came up with. That's a pretty big jump for any card, especially at this clock speed. And now it's running 30 FPS. And then you hit reset. And you can watch it go back down to 23 or 24 FPS. That's a seriously impressive boost in performance. Oh, and I just discovered you can go even higher with the memory clock. Now it's at 2.638 gigahertz. Still getting 30 frames a second. Little toasty though. That little card is cooking right now. Jesus. but overall, I can't say too much bad about this computer. It performs pretty well for what it is, and is nearly perfect for office work. And of course, what comes with it being an office computer is it has plenty of I/O ports. And paired with the extremely cool modular power supply, I definitely think a Dell Precision is worth it. Of course, and paired with, they don't actually look that bad on the inside. And they have plenty of cooling capacity, which is pretty important for a computer that can consume 140 watts just for the CPU. And for front fans, each one of these fans is 120 cubic feet per minute, meaning when this thing gets overheated, it gets loud, but it also just tries to fly away. But it will make sure your computer stays cool. And not to mention, it has a DVD drive for all you boomers. But from a technical standpoint, it does have plenty of space. And not to mention, but did you know we have a Discord channel, and you should totally join it, because currently we are trying to grow a community of PC builders, PC gamers, anyone with a PC or tech. They can join this Discord server and somewhat fit in. Of course, we don't have many people. That is why you need to join. It is currently a work in progress, and the sooner you join, the more and more you can see it progress. Same thing with the subscribe button. This channel is currently a work in progress. It has been for about 2 years, but we are just now taking off. So you should totally subscribe and try to help out the community by joining the Discord server too.